Boom. Oh,
Fate of the Elder Gods.
Oh. So polar opposites. Okay, so I had 0. I mean, when I say 0, 0, basically 0 radar for this game. It was a Kickstarter game, I believe, and go ahead. Yeah, I just went ahead and clicked on something else. Okay, and I usually don't do that, but Cthulhu stuff is usually something I like, and I like H.P. Lovecraft stuff. I just hadn't found a game yet that sold me on that idea. Like, hey, I want to play this. Unlike other people who really love that stuff. I played this game because of the promotion with Envoy. I said, let me just take a leap of faith, and I'll sit down and I'll get a good opportunity because you kind of have to with the program stuff. And I was blown away.
Oh, good. You shocked me there.
Man, I mean,
hey, Chris Jane is checking out. So see you later, Chris. Hopefully, we'll see you next week, and can't wait to talk to you then. But that is great to hear. You had me going. I thought you were going to say,
no,
it was a hard pass.
No, that one hit me like right in the side. Like that's a hit in the face right there. That was a little of an uppercut because I really like that kind of like that area like maneuvering mechanic thing with the where you play the cards and it kind of moves across. I also like games where you can do spells off turn. I like stuff that you can do off turn, and I love that. Like I love that idea, and I like that you can bank so much. It just feels like you have a lot you can do when you're not necessarily moving. And I don't know. It's just really, I don't know. All I can say is it seems very heavy from someone that's looking, or it seems like the wrong type of miniature game in your mind when you're looking at it. But I mean, wow, just even the fact that like you are the bad guys, just the fact that like
flipping of the theme, right?
Yeah, like that alone, and the people are kind of irritants, and I was just like, this really hits it for me. And I didn't take that whole playtester thing. Oh, this could have been rethemed into this. I don't. I think it's great the way it is.
You said something that's exactly one of the reasons why I like the game. When I first presented for the Envoy game nights, for the Herald game nights, I remember a couple of the people that came in that were kind of new to gaming, and we have those at our game nights. People that'll just pass by at the store and let me take a look at this, and I'm showing them, and boy, their eyes are glazing over when I go over. When I finally explain to them, look, there are 6 things you can basically do in your turn.
Yeah.
It's just represented by this wheel. Something clicks in their mind, and all of a sudden the game becomes, I mean, it's a really relatively simple game.
It is.
It just looks really complex on the table, and when you're explaining it, because all 6 actions are different. But once they figure that out, and of course we walk them through it as we go through each of the actions, but I have yet to have anyone play that game and not be blown away by it. I'm telling you, it is underrated in my opinion. People should be out there clamoring for Fate of the Elder Gods. And they must be selling well, because I got some good news for you. There are some expansions coming out. So would you like to play the good guys against all the bad guys?
Nope. Like the bad guys. I'm going to let that one be what it is. I'm going to let that one be what it is, because I love it for what it is, and it represents a different side of what I would usually like to. So
well, I'm looking forward. And look, the other thing is, let me throw up a solo picture of this thing. I mean, Jeremy, it looks amazing on the table.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, look
at the color. First of all, games that have that amount of presence color-wise, like, who doesn't like that? That's what that's what you tend to think people do. First of all, they look for that the presence, on the table, or the presence on the shelf. And for me, like, I kind of, let's say if it was on the shelf, I might have walked past it, or I might have grabbed the box and be like, oh, Richard Linus. Okay, great. Oh, not Cthulhu. But when I see that on the table, I'm like, gosh, this is a beautiful game. And it's quality components, quality art. There's not any flaws in the game design to me. And by the way, a really good thing that I enjoy, and that's kind of what I'm a staple. I always make a point to talk about player aids. The player aid is great in that game. So anybody who has any questions off turn, I always tell people when I'm teaching games, don't be afraid to read the player aid when it's not your turn. And if somebody's doing a turn, read the player aid while they're doing their turn, so you understand what they're doing. And this one is so good, it makes it easier for people to learn off turn. So that's a really a glowing review for that game. And I'm glad you brought that up.
Kudos to the design team over there, Great Games. Great player aid. The artwork, I know Nolan Nasser did a lot of the artwork. I can't remember the other artists, and I apologize to them. Nolan Nasser is one of my favorite artists. Yeah. And I mean, the artwork is stunning. The color choices are stunning. Love the way the spells interact.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you and I. Spirit Island, pass for me, but Fate of the Other Gods, 2 big thumbs up for me.
Got past that Spirit Island right back to you.
You know what? Maybe if we get to play together, you could teach it to me quicker, and we'll have fun.
Oh yeah.